You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's America's Next Top Model After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's America's Next Top Model After Show.
Hi, Top Model fans. We have a very exciting recap for you today. Bing is for doing, and we're doing a recap of America's Next Top Model, Cycle 20, Episode 11, The Girl Who Gets Punked. I'm Amanda Fields. Next to me is Bam Erickson. Emma Kay is in the studio as always, and we have a very exciting guest today, Marvin Cortez.
Hi guys, thanks for having me, Emma.
Thank you for being here. This is awesome.
I'm very excited to be here. I'm a big fan of you guys, and I've been watching your interviews.
Oh, snap.
We
got caught.
My own questions for you guys.
This is gonna get interesting.
Tables have turned.
Yes.
Tables have turned.
I guess you learned a lot from that corresponding, huh? On Hollywood.
Well, I learned the right way to do it, so I'm gonna
Right.
ask the right questions.
All right.
He did his homework.
So, Marvin, I love your look. I love that top that you have on. It's kind of like a hoodie. It's a little bit long. Where is that from?
Actually, I just got it from Cosmos. It's on Melrose.
Okay.
They're a nice little boutique, and it has so many cool things, and I kind of like it, and I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, and I like the little necklace too. Is that a bullet?
Yeah, it's a bullet. I wore it a lot on the show.
Yeah, okay. I thought I recognized
It's not.
it.
I don't promote violence or anything like that.
No.
It's just a nice little
He's
accessory.
like, I'm just strong.
Yeah.
So, Marvin, we learned on the show a little bit about your family and your history growing up.
Yeah.
So you're from the Bronx in New York, and I love how you talked about your family and that they taught you a lot of valuable lessons. Can you tell us a little bit more about your father and how he inspired you?
Yeah, it was very emphasized on the first 2 episodes, like with my dad. I grew up with a lot of people in my life, especially in this small apartment, 1 bedroom, and my dad wasn't really around too much because he worked so hard, which I love him to death for that. But yeah, so I grew up with like basically all males in my family, just my one mom, 1 girl, one female influence. And I think that plays a lot to what I'm sure the other questions about why are you so go crazy? Because I grew up with 8 guys in my life, so many guys. So yeah, my dad's awesome, and he taught me a lot of family values, and I think that plays a little bit into how I act on the show. So I think like he showed me how to love the most, and that's my biggest thing. I just love people.
So are he and your mom still together?
Yeah, they've been dating since, I want to say 40 years. They've been together 40 years.
40 years.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Yeah, my dad's old. He's like 65. So.
Well, so you said your mom and dad are dating. So are they not married? And
No,
they're
they
just
they are married, but they still date. So that.
Oh,
that's
I know a lot
cute.
of married couples that get married, and it's like, oh, we don't need to date anymore. No, that he still takes time to like take her out.
And so what was your family's reaction when you first told them that you wanted to be a model, and then once you were picked to be on America's Next Top Model, what did your brothers think? Did they call you names? Or
My
did they-
brothers they're supportive, but they tease me just like everybody else. They'll be like, "Oh, you're not even a model. Like you don't look like a model. I'm better looking than you." But like as a joke, they don't mean it. Like, of course, but they're very supportive. Like I know my dad, he in the building that he cleans or whatever, he like made little posters and was like, "Vote for my son."
That is
Oh,
so cute.
my goodness.
And he'll put them like in the bathrooms when he finished, and like people would be like, "Oh, I didn't know your son was on the show." But yeah, I found out when I called him, when I got a chance to talk to him, he was like, my mom was like, "Oh, he's been putting flyers even on the train stations. Like he'll put them up." And
That is so cute.
I was like, "Why do you have to be so nice?"
That's awesome.
So are
Yeah.
you the youngest, or where do you stand in line with the rest of your siblings?
I'm the second youngest.
Okay,
I have a
so
little
you're still the
brother.
baby.
So is he still in high school?
No, he just started his first year in college. He's
Wow.
18.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So now your parents they really get to have a date night.
Yeah, no, there's no one in the house anymore, so.
But being in the house, it resembled a lot like your home, correct?
Yeah.
Because there was so many people and so many different personalities and so many different viewpoints. So was that similar, and was it easier for you to adjust, or was it difficult for you to adjust?
It was a little bit hard because I'm not used to so much space, and the house was so big. And when I first got there, I was like, wow, it's like so much. And then I immediately felt a little bit at home because of the bunk beds. And just how it was is how I have it at home. It's like 4, and then like more like beds on the side. But as I felt so at home there because so many guys in one room. So when it started to get less and less, I kind of freaked out because I'm not used to like sleeping alone.
Oh, okay.
Ever. Even now, I still sleep with my brother in the room. So I think that kind of plays a little bit to when I get like emotional and stuff.
Marvin,
Yes, baby.
speaking of sleeping,
Okay.
Oh my God.
you know what?
Here it comes.
I know where you're going, but
Here it
I'm
comes.
with you.
Renee, you guys were in bed together. Mm-hmm. And was it a cuddle all night? Was there what happened?
I don't know how much I'm allowed to say.
Okay.
But it started off as a cuddle. Mm-hmm. It was like we had spoke a little bit off camera, and I know she wanted like cuddle, and at that point I knew she had a crush on me. So I was like, okay, like if you want to come whenever, just come to my bed or whatever. So she came at like 3 a.m. I was up, of course. She said
Waiting.
She said, you know what, I'll stop by. So I was like, okay, I'll probably be up. But I was like up the whole time, like, Renee? No, it's not Renee. So it was just a cuddle. Nothing too X-rated. But
Okay.
we'll see in future episodes.
Did anything continue off the show?
Oh. Future episodes.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say.
Okay. We don't want to get you.
Yeah.
We don't want to get you.
Let's just say
Yeah.
me and Renee we have a good relationship. Like really
Oh,
good.
that's great. And so that was so cute also to see Renee when she revealed to Jordan that she had a crush on you.
Yeah, I
That
didn't know
was-
she did that. I was surprised because
Oh.
her and Jordan did not click. So for her to entrust her with that information was
Yes.
kind of.
I thought it was stupid on her behalf.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
She's like putting herself out there. But,
yeah, she did.
but that was, I
She
thought
needed
it
to
was
tell
kind of
somebody.
sweet. Yes, you got to get it off your chest.
Yeah.
Check in with someone else and see, does this make sense? What should I do?
Yeah.
But of course it does make sense. You guys are cute together.
I think so.
Yes, so so it was exciting this week because Jeremy got to come back into the
Oh, yeah,
competition.
yeah.
And you're good friends with him, right?
Mhm. We're really good friends. I mean, first off, my best friend is Don. We're still best friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know he was always trying to compete with Don to be my best friend. But he's the next in line, and then Mike, and then Phil.
Oh, you have your own like
Yeah, we're
rating
clicky.
system for
Yeah,
the guys in the
we do.
house. Oh my goodness.
But I mean, Jeremy, he knows that I love him. So when he got back, like I was so excited because I was like, yes, I got someone to play with.
He didn't win
finally.
you over with his drawings?
He drew me. I was surprised he drew a picture of me. But Don was always there for me from like day one. From before even the cameras were rolling, we were not supposed to talk. Because we stayed in the hotel. Well, I don't know what I'm supposed to say, but we stayed in the hotel.
And during the
before-
casting session.
During the
Yes.
casting,
Yes.
and they made the mistake of putting him right across from me. And we would like always look for the PAs and be like, we're just alone. And then I liked his sneakers. He had like Jordans on. And I was like, oh, like nice kicks. And he was like, thanks, bro. Like, yeah. And then so we started clicking right off there. So by the time the camera started rolling, we were just like vibing off each other.
Do you think that because the men got along very well, do you think that that was one of your stronger points and why there are more men in the competition than women?
I think definitely that played a big role because the guys, we would always help each other out. Even if like sometimes Don would try to give Jeremy tips on posing and he would steal it, kind of. But he still helped. Like we helped each other out. Like even Mike, we stayed up all night and made sure that he kind of worked on his walk. And even me, like I'll watch Don shoot and be like, all right, yeah, you did, this was strong and this was strong. And if I had the opportunity to do a challenge first, he would warn me or I would warn him. Like for the Perez challenge,
Yes.
Don had went first, and he told me all the stuff that he made him do. So that's why I was so nervous because I was like, man, if he makes me do that, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this, and I don't want to go home. So when he told me all that, like we gave each other heads up. Meanwhile, the girls, like maybe Renee would ask Jordan, like, oh, like how was it? And she'd just be like, it was okay, and not give away anything to give up like an edge. But the guys, we were definitely more supportive.
With the whole Perez Hilton thing, Don did reveal to us that that you guys basically confronted the judging panel for their actions, and so I just wanted to get your perspective on that because you're the one who, when you guys were doing the the red carpet out on Hollywood, you know, you were asked to say. You were asked to ask questions that you felt was inappropriate and that didn't have anything to do with, you know, red carpet fashion correspondence. So tell us quickly what happened, and were you scared to approach the judges or face, you know, fear that you would, you know, be eliminated?
Yeah, well, I didn't want to say anything because I felt like you never want to like complain as to say maybe to the judges, because if you see the past episodes where like someone confronts a judge, it never gets good. So I know everybody was supporting me and was like, you should say something, and everybody wore black. I think if you see it back, everybody wore black to kind of make a statement or something. But I just said like I thought it was like I didn't want to take the responsibility of what was going to happen had I asked those questions, because there were so many questions that like if I even asked them, I knew that kid was going to go home. And like when it aired, and like I didn't want to humiliate him on national television,
Right.
Especially since he didn't know what he was getting himself into, because they were just like, you want to get interviewed, and they didn't know what they were signing up for. So
Okay.
Go ahead.
my concern was like, all right, if I ask him these questions, he goes home and I humiliate him, like he's gonna do something. Like if someone asked me those questions and like try to, because it was not more like questions, it was like statements, like telling them what they were or how they looked. And then I knew he was gonna like, I didn't want him to like cut himself or like feel ashamed. And that was my concern, because I know in high school I took relationship abuse prevention, and so I knew
wow.
already. I was like, nah, these questions they're gonna have consequences, and no one should ever feel ashamed to be who they are. And even some of the questions that I did ask him, I apologized to him after, and I was like, I was so sorry. He was really happy about it. I even remember his name, Josh, and he was so nice, and I did not want to do it. He was a good looking guy too. I didn't want to make him feel bad.
Yeah, because you're on Top Model. Did the people that were interviewed, did they know it was America's Next Top Model?
No, they had no idea.
Okay.
I think it was like Fashion TV or what the mic
Oh
said.
yeah, like Smize
Smize
TV.
TV. They had no idea.
So maybe they were hinted at, you know, oh, okay, we know what Smize is, but they were just excited to be on TV.
Yeah, they
you know,
were.
be on camera, and you know, to be like the average stylish person on the street
Well,
instead of like a celebrity.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, not really, because I don't remember if it was Gianna or Alex. Someone's boyfriend said, "I'm gonna, you know, have my girlfriend come
Oh
pick
yeah,
her."
that was like
Oh.
a security
it's-
issue too.
Yeah, it's safety for people being on Hollywood Boulevard. Really, do you know how many people, different personalities? You don't know who's out there. So I think it was putting you guys at risk,
It was.
aside from the people who you guys were interviewing, because
Yeah.
anyone could have anything
Right.
with them.
Yes, that's true. How did you feel about Alexandra coming back into the competition?
Alex I like her, but she was not like my favorite girl. And you know me, if you're a girl and if I don't like you, there's something up.
Okay, can we have the rankings for the girls? You just did
Oh,
one
yeah.
for the guys.
Yeah,
please.
please.
Okay, rankings is Renee. Then it's Bianca.
Okay.
And then Renee just got me. I don't even remember the other girls. That's how
It was
great
like
Renee
Renee,
was. That's-
long pause.
Yeah, Renee.
She's every spot.
Basically.
Oh my gosh.
I know, like Alex was in the bottom and Jordan was like in the third, fourth, because we got to talk kind of.
Where's-
When we didn't book, remember when we didn't book the show?
The
Yes.
Fashion Week
we
shows.
spent that whole day together because we didn't get to do anything, and I got to know her more.
Well, that was actually shocking to me that you didn't book any shows.
I guess, you know what, I deserved not booking, because they were like, don't be so nice, because I was just like, I'm a big, like, I was like, oh, like, this is my first casting, and I guess they were like, you need to be more like swag with it and be more like cool and hip, but
Well,
And it
guess
was-
what? I have been modeling for a long time, and people used to tell me that when I started out. And then I would like try to put on like a front, like
Yeah.
I was so cool or whatever, very serious. That didn't work either. You just have to be yourself.
really? Okay,
Yes,
see,
listen
Tyra
to
Banks.
your heart, please.
And-
And I know that they're trying to help you be
Yeah.
better at the casting. So I mean, you can be professional, but you can still have a smile.
Yeah, that was my big thing. Even the second casting, he was just like, "Don't smile," and I didn't know, he didn't take a picture, but I was just like, and then he thought I was cool. He told me after, like, "Oh, like you look perfect in the clothes," but I don't know. I think they just didn't.
It
want
was
me to
actually
book.
contradicting, because
Yes.
the whole reason why Jordan didn't get picked was her personality didn't come out in the walk, and yours did. So it was like, well, hold on a second, it doesn't make sense.
I didn't even pick up on that, but that's so true.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
you,
we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have such a great personality. Don't let that go. Don't let anyone get in the way of your true self, because you have a great heart, and
Thank you.
I think you just shine on TV and even in person. And I was saying earlier to you guys watching out there, Marvin looks just as good here in person as he does on the show and in his pictures. So he's very consistent. He looks great. So
Thank you.
that's
Yeah,
a wonderful
Bam is
thing.
like, okay, is she hitting on him or what? What's going on?
No, I'm just complimenting. I can appreciate
joking.
from a model to another model. I can understand how it feels to be in front of all those people and get criticized
Yeah.
and critiqued all the time.
I think that's
So.
the hardest thing because when I get like tweets and stuff, it's like people are like, "Why are you crying all the time?" Or they're like, because you know when you're an actor, you play a role and they critique the actor, but you're on TV, you play yourself, so they're judging you for
Yes.
being you. So it's like a little hard.
And what we didn't understand and the viewers didn't see is what happened. I mean, we had Mike and Bianca in the studio last week, and they were telling us how you guys basically don't have any time to sleep, and everything is so back to back, and there's basically nothing to do. You're away from your family, so there's a lot of emotions that are built up, and then having conflicts with certain people, so it does gets the best of you. So that's things that we don't see and we don't know about.
Yeah,
so having you guys
of
on the
course.
show and getting the input is beneficial for us and also the viewers to really get to know you guys.
Yeah,
So
that's why I think this shows. I'm a big fan of this show. Just Emma, your character on the show. Your personalities are awesome here, and I like to get the other people's. Like I know Mike was on there, Don, and you see their perspective, and it's pretty much accurate. So it's like, okay, we are all on the same page.
Yes, yes. When you guys talk about the experience of being behind the scenes, it's
Yeah.
all pretty much consistent with each
yeah.
other. Yes.
what I want to know is I want to get your opinion with the comeback for the guys. So between Jeremy, Mike, and Phil, who did you think was going to come back?
Well, we all knew already Jeremy was coming back because his social media was just off the roof, like always so high, even if it was just a bad photo. And this is when I would tell him like, because he'd be like, I got the best highest social media score, and I was just like, I know the judges' scores are never in the same ranking as his social media, so he maybe like remember there was one photo that he got like a 5 or a 6, and his social media for that score was like a 7. So it's like it never added up. Like the judges' score and the social media score is so inconsistent.
Speaking of inconsistent, I feel the judges, like Tyra will give a 10, one will give a 7, I don't understand, particularly with this this last episode's judging. I don't understand their judge. I don't understand how they give certain numbers, and I don't see how the social media should have played a huge factor in bringing someone back. Do you feel that now watching the show, do you feel that there's inconsistency with the numbers for how they judge a picture?
Definitely there is inconsistency. Sometimes it plays in your favor and sometimes it doesn't, because sometimes it's too close, like it'll be like 0.1 or 0.5 that someone like goes home. I think it all depends on the judge. I think like Rob he looks for certain things in pictures, like if it's not masculine enough, like he'll be like, no man, that's not a good picture or whatever. And,
Do that again.
like, look, man, I like the picture, but I think you could have brought it more. So, like, but I'm gonna give you an 8. And then Kelly's just like, I love this picture. And then Tyra, Tyra always gave me good scores
Oh, yes.
I feel
because
like
I always gave her what she wanted. I feel.
and I think
sorry, go ahead, Emma. We're just excited.
Tyra's so neutral. She's the balancing party between all of them, just to make everyone scores not be so high and low, but usually hers is off so high. She usually gives a 10, and everyone else is so low.
Yeah.
Well,
But
I think.
yeah.
Sorry,
no,
Marvin.
go ahead.
I just think that Tyra feels so strongly one way or the other about a photo. So it's either a 10 or like a 7.
Yeah.
It's never,
between.
occasionally it's in between, but I feel like she's very opinionated about everything because, she's Tyra and that's how she should be,
Yeah.
So that's what I think throws it off a lot. What were you going to say, Marvin?
I was just gonna say, like, I think, like Bam was asking, but I was gonna say because Rob sees it from a model point of view, and Kelly sees it from a publicist point of view, and then
Yes.
Tyra sees it from kind of both. So they meet in halfway.
Gotcha.
Ooh.
What did you think about the challenge?
Remind me what the challenge was.
Oh, the challenge with Vincent St. George.
Oh my God. I just want to thank the editors, wherever they are, that they didn't show so much of mine. Because,
They
oh my
didn't, and I
God.
thought it was my computer like skipping it.
No.
So I went back and I'm like, what happened?
I'm glad the editors did it like that. They didn't show it like the rest of ours because it was just so embarrassing. Like,
Like what? Tell us what happened.
like he kind of like how what Chris looked like. It looked like for everybody. So Chris looked funny. But it was just like that for everybody because we didn't know who he. At first, they were just like he's a designer, you know. But I didn't know who he was. If they would
Yes.
have put like Dave Chappelle, I would have been like, Dave. But it was just I don't know who that Reggie guy was.
Yeah, I think he's a comedian that also is a musician and he like plays funny songs.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that accent and with the hat, like I would never have known.
Well, if you've never met anyone, you'll just buy it. It's not
Yeah.
that he tricked us. It's like if I never met you and you were like, "Hi, I'm Fiona from France," I would
Yes.
be like, "Okay." hi."
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So how did you feel about Jordan winning another contest?
Jordan is just unstoppable. I feel like she can do no wrong. She's a really good model, and her challenge is always. I think that's where I lacked. My challenge was I was never really in it, but I
You
think,
mean the challenge versus the photo shoots?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because to win best photo, you need to nail the challenge and nail the shoot. Because if you don't do good in both, you're not going to be in the top. Be like even Kanai, she had 3 straight 10s and she still didn't win best photo.
She sure didn't.
Yeah.
Ooh, Kanani's beautiful.
I actually
by the
thought
way.
Alex did a better job. Having her back and it was her first contest, she nailed it. And to see, Jordan win the contest, it's like, really? People give someone else a chance.
Yeah, but
I thought Alex was going to
I
win
thought
too.
Alex
You
was going to
thought so?
win.
But Reggie had never met them, so he
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
know
it
who
was
had been
all-
winning everything all along or not. But at least he mentioned that Alexandra did a
Yeah,
really good
it's
job.
always good to feel like
Yeah.
2 people stood out.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she stood out to him, but it's just his opinion, on that day. But they did a great job, both of them.
So you don't think that it's pre-planned who's going to win?
No.
Anyone?
I think maybe the final result of the week, who goes home, could have been sort of, I don't know.
I think the scales are tipped in, a particular person's favor versus everyone else. But
Well, Jordan
just a personal
Jordan does
opinion.
have the traditional runway model height and size and look, and of course they're going to give her some tips and advantages because they want someone to do well that is the typical model. But that being said, there's a lot of strong contestants this year,
Yeah.
especially the men, and then we all feel like there's going to be a male winner this season. That's
Yeah,
Our
that's how everybody
inclination.
feels. Is that-
I guess Renee will be proven wrong.
But Renee, we love Renee too. She's very
yeah,
talented.
I love Renee
I did say that.
as a friend.
I said for the 2 guys, if I'm sure because you watch the show,
Yeah.
I said between the 2 guys, I feel it would be between you and Don.
Oh,
and
really?
and the girls, it'll be between Renee and
Jordan.
Jordan. But let's talk really quickly about the photo challenge. So it was for flaws, and so everyone
Flawsome.
had a flawsome. And so
Awesome.
and so
Yes.
everyone had different flaws. Like your girl Renee had to do the forehead,
That 5 head.
Five
Five
head,
head.
yes.
and then
Do
you
we
had
have the pictures actually to put up?
Give me 1 sec.
okay. And so then while we're going into that, your flaw was the mole. What did you think about your flaw?
I wanted my flaw to be more drastic because, like, I was one of the last people to get my flaw, and I saw like Chris's had the gap.
Gap teeth.
Jordan had like the unibrow. Everybody had these cool flaws, and they just gave me a mole. And I kind of felt like Enrique Iglesias because I know he has a mole, and I'm
Yeah.
Spanish. So I was like, maybe I could do this. But I wanted it to be drastic because you can't even tell what the flaw is too much if you look
How
at
do
it.
you feel about the judges saying that you have the same pose and the same face week to week? I mean, you probably, I have a feeling, are giving them a lot of different things and they just keep choosing the same photos. I
I'm
don't know.
glad you think that, but that's not the case.
Oh.
I give him the same face. Why change if it's good? No, I'm just kidding.
Mara, you're tricking us.
No, yeah, I try to give them different stuff, but I feel like that one straight face that I do is so like they feel like it's the best photo for me because I like doing.
It's your blue steel.
Yeah, it's my Latigra.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
my Magnum, whatever.
Yeah.
So are you playing it safe, just giving them the pose that they want, or you just saying that, that pose is the one?
No, I give them different poses. Everybody
Okay.
gets a couple, like we get like 30 minutes to shoot. So
That's quick.
yeah,
Oh my gosh.
30 minutes is fast. So
Woo.
we give them different. I think only the one time that I didn't switch was the trailer park, and I heard it from Johnny. And Mr. Wujek, I love him.
Do you think in this? Do you think that what's the girl with the eyes who won? What's her name? again?
Nina.
Do you think Nina had an advantage because that flaw worked in her favor, which is why she got best photo?
Like no, I think because Jeremy has big lips too, so he got those duck lips.
Well, Anita must have had experiences dealing with that her whole life.
Yeah.
And I think her eyes are gorgeous.
They are.
But, you know, when you're a kid, anything that's different, people will pick on. So maybe she just knew how to work it. But I think it's about time that she got Best Photo. Has she won Best Photo, I think,
No,
one
No.
other time?
First time.
She's been in the top few a few times, but this was her week.
No, I thought she deserved this one.
Yeah,
I
she looks so great. Oh
Her
my
and
gosh.
Renee, both those photos were really good.
They
I think
were.
so too. What did you think about when Alex, when she walked off the stage? Did you guys know what was going on or what her condition was?
Actually, yeah, I know she has anxiety, and I like Don and her have anxiety. But that one particular day, we were standing for so long, and I know she was getting like, she kept sitting down and up and down and up. But she didn't leave exactly when we were doing panel, so it was still during a break. So it kind of made it look like she left while they were judging, but that was not the case.
You said Dawn has anxiety also?
Yeah, if you look at the next preview, it's like the guy who has a panic. Don has anxiety because he went through some stuff. I think he was like beat by cops when he was like younger. He got handcuffed and was like beat by cops. So he has like
Oh, wow.
anxiety level.
Well, that would definitely cause people to have anxiety.
Yeah. So the
high
next episode, I mean, if you guys are watching,
Oh my gosh! Of course we're going to be watching.
Is there any insight that you can give us for what is to come in next week's episode or what's next in the season? Probably not.
probably not.
Okay. Thought I was worth a try.
Yeah.
Bali looks really exciting, and
It
the runway
was.
challenge they did show a little preview that you're actually underwater.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So how did that work with wearing the scuba helmet? And were you like rigged up to a boat? Or
Yeah, the helmet is like you feel like an astronaut. It's connected to oxygen.
Was it heavy?
It was heavy.
Oh
like
my
when you
gosh.
finished, you had like lines on your
Oh my God.
shoulders. So, but it was really cool. I think the company was like Airwalk or something. It's really cool.
Airwalk, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. It looks so impressive and so, I mean, but I wonder if I know people have had photo shoots underwater, but I don't know if they've ever had a fashion show underwater. This might be the first time.
They pioneered it. Probably.
Yes. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
Did you guys have a say in what your flaws were, or were they given to you based on the judges just observing you throughout the season?
The judges picked it for you. Because I know I was like, I can't get something else. And they were like, no, we giving you a mole. Because I was like, you can't even, can you make it bigger? Can you like enhance it? Because I was like, you can't even tell.
They gave Dawn those pink pants
Oh
that
my
you're just
Lord.
chicken
Those
legs,
pants.
skinny legs. But it's like that's not really a flaw.
That's a flaw.
For
Okay.
a guy?
That's a flaw.
Okay.
I told him don't skip leg day.
Don't skip leg day at the gym.
Yeah, because no, but they put him in really tight pants.
Were they women's pants?
I think so.
I think so.
H&M or something.
They look
Tight.
like women's pants.
They look like those stretchy kind cotton material
Yes,
pants.
stretch
and
denim.
He sold it. I was like, I want to know where to get those.
I know. I kind of
Bam
thought.
is like, I
well,
don't know if I'm buying those pants just yet.
I'll do a pink shirt, but not.
not the pink.
Well, it's how you wear it.
so what did you? Going back to the challenge for a second, what did you think when they told you what you were doing and how you were in like a yellow outfit with a green screen with a
I
camel?
was a little bummed that it wasn't a real commercial. I thought I was like, okay, we're doing a real commercial. Because they said the winner gets to they'll air the commercial in France and all these countries. Like, you know, you'll be the spokesperson for the coif.
Oh, so they totally just really fed.
It was such a weird name, dude.
Coif.
Coif.
I know. I thought it was French. I was like, okay, I don't know anything about France.
But what-
yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I mean, what I want to know is, in the real world, people, when you go for an audition or when you go for something, they don't play a prank on you.
No.
You know, and I'm getting really tired of seeing these ridiculous
Thank you.
contests
Yes.
and photo shoots that don't make any sense because being a model, you know automatically what you're auditioning for. You wouldn't go and audition for something that you wouldn't fit into, or your agent wouldn't sign you up for something that was completely out of the realm. So the challenges, I feel like, are more for reality TV and
Yeah.
and entertainment. They're not for to really judge you guys
yeah.
and enhance your skills, because being in a jumpsuit and, acting like a very funny person. I'll be nice.
But there is an aspect, thank goodness they explained this part of it, that you do have to be ready to go with the direction and do what they're asking you to do.
That was
But it was very extreme.
That's like a cover-up. That's like a cop-out.
It
Well,
is.
you need to make and they did that before. They've done that. Like, they'll mislead you because they want an honest reaction. If they tell you, okay, this is just fake commercial. But, yeah, it's like a gimmick almost. Because I'm here thinking, like, all right, I'm getting a commercial audition. Like, you should have seen me before. I was, like, zoning. Like, I was like, all right,
You're like, this is a big director. I want to get on point for this. Yeah.
I was doing my monologues in the back. I was like, I need to nail this.
I mean, I thought walking down the side of a building was crazy, but then this.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And then underwater runway, it's still like there. It's more like a. Have you seen the Boiling Point show? It's like how much can you take?
Yes.
Until you know.
Well, I
Until
feel
you
like
crack.
that is exactly what they're doing, because we got to hear a lot of what goes on backstage, and how you guys were all staying up so late just to compete for camera time.
Oh, that was
and
like in
to
the
make your
beginning.
personality stand out on TV, because ultimately social media does play a big role.
Yeah.
We saw with Jeremy and Alex coming back.
Which
so
I don't get. The whole social media thing, because
I like it, but
you guys have shot this months ago. So how
they were voting during the time the
So
photos
who-
were released.
okay.
I think like kind of what you're going at is like, why not do it while the show's airing? Because they don't want favoritism, but that they get it anyway, because Jordan, he or she is getting an 8-9 social media score, but if you read her Twitter, it's like, we hate Jordan, we can't stand you, divorced at 18, we can't, like, and they're like, I wish I could take my votes back, kind of. And it's like, I'm over here, I have the second most biggest following next to Don, but my social media score is a 3.9.
Speaking of social media and all the other stuff. So what's ahead of you now? Let's go into some news and gossip.
Oh,
AfterBuzz TV.
Yes.
So
Marvin news.
yes, what's some Marvin news? What could we look forward to? I know you can't do much while the show is airing, but
what have I been up to?
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot. I've been doing a lot of stuff. Right now, actually, I just finished doing fashion show for Filio Sibi, who's this African designer. It was my first paid real show, so I'm officially a model.
Awesome.
Nice. Congratulations.
Go Marvin.
Yeah.
Go Marvin.
And I'm shooting for his editorial in Africa next month.
In Africa.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Well, actually, no, I'm not going to Africa. He's flying me to Miami, but it's gonna be in Africa for a couple of magazines in Africa.
Oh, the ad will be
But
published
he'll
in
probably
Africa.
Send me to Africa.
That's cool.
He
You're
loves
shooting
me.
it in Miami. That's awesome
Yeah.
too. Okay.
Mhm. And you know who lives in Miami?
Renee?
Uh-oh.
Oh. Oh. Well. And
It's like, no.
by the way, we do love Renee's runway walk.
We
Oh,
do.
she
She's
kills
got
it.
the best.
Yeah, she does.
do you
Yes.
feel you're stronger in photos or the walk?
Photos.
Both. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
thank you.
Emma.
Because some
Yeah, I hear you saying.
Yeah, some feel like their stronger points are in photos, and some feel like they have a stronger walk. So I just wanted to throw that random question. Where can we find you? Social media?
Social media, I'm on Twitter and Instagram. It's Marvin Cortez 1. Just Marvin Cortez 1.
The number one.
Just the number 1.
Yes.
Also, I'm speaking at a high school about anti-bullying this month. Since it's October, it's anti-bully month.
Ooh, yes.
And it's going to be I'm not sure in which school yet, but it's going to be somewhere in Hollywood.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and there's a band performing too, so it's going to be really cool. Zendaya's manager's band, it's like he manages Zendaya, who I love, obviously. I think he has a performance there too, one of the bands he manages. So
Ooh, that's interesting.
Okay.
hopefully she comes.
Is it a public event?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll make
awesome.
sure to tweet
Ooh,
it.
yes. We'll be following you on Twitter. And Emma, tell everybody where they can find you on Twitter.
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Real Emma K, and don't forget to log on to Emma K's Closet to shop for the new trends.
And Bam.
Bam Erickson on Twitter and Instagram.
And you guys can follow me, Amanda Fields, on Twitter and Instagram at The Runway Queen. Thank you so much, Marvin Cortez, for stopping by the studio.
Thank you. Okay, that was.
And thank you, America's Next Top Model fans, for tuning in week after week. We will see you next time.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.